great rush today. What's good, creatives? Welcome back to the channel. Today is the 5th video, the final video for this Sony series, and I am excited about that. And not because the Sonys were a hassle to shoot with. I had a really good time and I'm not gonna downplay it at all. The Sonys are dope. But just because I challenged myself to make 5 videos and upload them in 5 consecutive days, which is something that I have not done for a while. I've taken my time with videos, I have overthought videos, and I haven't been uploading consistently, but this past week I've been forcing myself, and today is the final video, so I'm excited to not be uploading every single day and having to shoot and edit, because it is a hassle. So if you don't mind, make sure you slap the like button on this video and go slap the like button on all the other Sony videos, because it means a lot to me, for real, because I'm putting hard effort and work into these videos and uploading them, and the algorithm is not working in my favor right now. I can't even talk. Celsius. All right, let me put that down. I'm talking about the colors today. The colors on the Sony A7S were cool when shooting the video. One thing I did notice is after I dropped like a conversion, I didn't even drop a conversion, I did my own. So after I added like contrast and saturation back to the clip from S-Log or whatever profile I shot on video, it did have like a greenish tint to it, and I had to kind of add some magenta into it a little bit, and I had to make my skin tone not yellowish. It was kind of yellowish. Had to bump it up in the reds a little bit to get it more to a natural place. The colors were cool though. Other than that, everything was really nice. I don't really dive too technical into colors. I also was making some LUTs, and if I do, I will present those here on the channel and on my Instagram. So make sure you go follow me on Instagram if you are interested in me making some LUTs for the Sony footage. The FX3, pretty much the same camera. It's pretty much the same camera as the A7S III. Doing the color grade on that was actually easier. I think that my skin tone looked more natural than it did on the A7S III after color grading it. So that was that on video. The video looked great, the colors looked great, slight adjustments, but you gotta do that on the Canons as well. Honestly, we don't have to do any adjustments at all or any of that. We could just put a conversion on it and let it fly, because these cameras look amazing. It's all subjective and it's all up to us what we want to do as far as the colors go on any camera. It doesn't matter what brand it is. But the Sony footage and colors on the video was great. If that is something that you're so concerned about, then there may be deeper problems and you may just need to not get a camera. I'm just kidding. It's okay. You can get any camera brand and you can color it however you want. It's gonna be the same for every camera. You're just gonna change a different color maybe. As far as the photos go, I shoot raw, so you can manipulate the colors and contrast as much as you want. It's a raw photo. Some of the photos I took on a neutral picture profile, which is how I take photos on the R5, and that's just so that I can see a base when I drop it into Lightroom and color it from there, and I enjoyed that. And I also accidentally took some photos on log profile on the Sonys as well, and even with those, all you had to do was bring the exposure up 1 or 2 stops to get it back to like a normal look and not that really dark looking image. And even after that, bringing the exposure up on them, they looked really good. I really loved the photos. I think that the colors look good as is after adding that, but then obviously I like to tweak and make the colors my own. So real quick, I'm gonna hop on the computer and I'm gonna color down one of the video clips just to show you, and I'm gonna color down maybe 1 or 2 photos. I don't wanna make this video too long. It's already at 4:50 on the timer here on the camera. I don't want this video to be too long, but I do wanna show you how I colored down and show you my Lightroom presets, because I did make some. There's a link down below and you can check those out if you want to. If you use Sony, it might be cool just to have them, just to be able to drop it on and be good. All right, let's jump on the computer. All right, I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. I do need to pour this in here and drink it from a straw, because that first sip, I just had to take it straight out the can, for real. I just needed that. Let's put that out of frame. Get the Celsius right. You hear the ice and the fizz. Ace is back there turning up. You already know how it's going down in here. All right, so we got a shot right here, first of all, from the A7S III. This is just a simple shot. I'm just gonna show you how I colored it down and show you how it does have that greenish kind of tint to it, and like on my skin tone. So first things first, let me find a frame that I like. Let's see, right there's fine. Look at that, dude. What's that face, bro? All right, color wheels. Off the rip, you gotta add your contrast back. So let's open up the workspace. Let's do the coloring one. I set this one up for myself just so I could see these scopes right here. What is this, a waveform? Yeah, a waveform. I don't really pay attention to the names. Anyway, add shadows into it until right before it gets to 0, because 0 is pure black. We don't want it to be pure black. Let's bring the highlights up to that 100 line. That white is gonna peak. If you can see over here on the right side of the waveform, that's the creative sign. We don't care if that's blown out. It's all about the skin tones. And here's the skin tones right here. We want those to lie about 70, and let's push it up to about 70. That looks good. Let's bring in some mid-tones to give some deeper contrast, you know what I'm saying? Let's see, let's bring those blacks up just a little bit so they're not sitting on that 0 line. Add some more mid-tones. Want that to be real contrasty. I like contrast. Highlights, bring them up a little bit more just to give a little bit more punch. And then let's add in on the global, which is all around shadows, midtones, highlights, everything, the whole everything. Let's add some saturation in, and there you go. It's basically got its color on. So you take it off, take it on. Now it's back kind of contrasty. My skin tones, they look a little yellowish orangish. I don't like the color of my beard that much. It doesn't really have a greenish tint right here, actually, I'll be honest. So I'm gonna just take it to like 5200 on the temperature, a little bit more warm. And then I need to pull up a hue saturations curve because I want to add a little red into my skin tone because that would be more natural. So hue versus hue, let's get the dropper, grab my skin tone, and let's make this bigger real quick so I can add a little red into my skin tones. Let's see what happens here. Oh yeah, there we go. Green lips, Shrek style. I'm just kidding. Let's bring this reddish magenta space down a little bit, just because I don't want my lips to be all pinkish. I want them to be a little bit more like tannish red. All right, cool. Let's see, let's drop it on there for the saturation. We don't want it to be too saturated, but maybe we'll bring it up a little bit, just like that. Off, on. I think that looks pretty good. That looks pretty natural, but it just took a little bit of work. It just took contrast, saturation, and slight hue saturation curves manipulation. I would even go as far as adding another color wheel and bringing some blues into my shadows. Even though it is pretty blue in here because I had a blue light on, I would still do it. Just, you see, it kind of adds that cool vibe to it. But I would set a color mask and select my skin tone as much as I can without affecting the background. That's cool. Then I would come down here where it says mask inside. Inside would be on my skin. Outside would be everything not my skin or what I just selected. I can, as you can see, change what's in the shadows, but it doesn't affect my skin tone, which is really cool. And my boy YC taught me that. So let's bring this down right here. A little blue into the shadows. Looks kind of cool. Let's even go back to the first color wheel and add some more warmth. 5500, let's say that. And that looks cool. I mean, it could be better and I could sit here and manipulate it all day, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna add a little bit of blue in right there. And that's that. It's that simple. I think the colors look good on here, and it was pretty much a breeze going through all the log footage from the Sony A7S III and the FX3. So let's jump over to Lightroom. All right, we got this picture pulled up of me on top of the mountain. It's really bluish, and I think that was us not having the right white balance. So let's open up my Sony Lightroom presets and let me show you. Noon light, this was designed for this one. So if you off, on, looks fire. Off white, that was designed on a S-Log photo. It's blown out, and so would these as well. But it's cool because you can take the contrast, the one that was designed on the S-Log photo, and just drop the exposure back down, bring it up a little bit to make it work, bring some shadows in, double click so you can see where the auto white balance should be, and then you can move it to where you want it to be. It's that simple to make that work. So those are my presets. There's a link down below. You can check those out. You know what I'm saying? You can get those if you want them. They're dope. I ain't gonna sit here and try to sell y'all on these the whole time, I swear. I'm gonna just color it from scratch. So boom, here it is from scratch. I'm gonna add in some contrast, add in shadows. The white balance is wrong, so I'm gonna do auto, and that doesn't even look right either. So I'm gonna bring the blues back in. It's about right there. Off, on, that looks better. Add a little clarity, add some vibrance, bring down some saturation. This is just my style of coloring. come to the curves, add a little into the shadows and darks, make the whites pop a little bit more. Boom. All right, then come down here to the saturation. We take them blues down a little bit so they look more natural-ish. We can bring the aquas down, bring the greens down because I'm not a fan of the greens. Yellows, we can bring them down too. This is looking good. Ooh, looks fire actually. Orange is my skin tone, so let's make those pop up a little bit. Let's add some into the shadows. Maybe right there, that looks good. Bring the warmth back up a little bit. That looks good already, honestly. Make the whites pop, bring the blacks down a little bit. Let's crush those blacks a little bit more. Let's check it on white. Off, on, that looks fire. Let's check it on black, off, on. It looks good on black too. So that's simple. I mean, the colors are not that bad. I just manipulated a little bit. Obviously you shoot raw, you can do whatever you want. I bring out certain colors and that's just my subjective personal opinion. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. I can break the rules. I can take the blues all the way out if I want. I can blow them out if I want. It's all about what you like. And the point of this is just to show you that it's not that hard to manipulate colors, especially when you're shooting raw. And I think that fresh out of the camera, these colors look fine. I shot in the wrong white balance on this photo, so I'm not mad at that. Here's another photo, fresh out of the camera. I think I shot the wrong white balance here too. Let's check it. Let's go back up to the white balance and click auto. Definitely, it was supposed to be more warm. That looks more natural and right. The blues were way too intense, as you can see from before. Here's the after. Add some contrast. Let's lift those shadows up a little bit, pump the whites, bring the blacks down just a little bit. I like crushing my blacks, that's just me. Add some clarity in to make that sharpness pop. Bring that vibrance up and bring the sats down. That's always my way of coloring. You come right here, add some dark into the shadows, bring that up on the highlight area. And then let's bring these blacks up. Let's lift these blacks to make it like soft. That looks pretty good. Let's see right here. Let's bring some blues into the shadows right there. Let's bring some warmth into the highlights. You know what I'm saying? And then we're gonna lift these shadows a little bit more. Let's bring the highlights down a little bit just to bring some detail back in here. It's looking a little purplish. Let's bring it towards the green. Honestly, I'm just playing around at this point. You're just watching me have fun. Enable profile correction. Bring the vignette back, but I want the profile to look right. Let's come down here to the calibration. Right there, maybe. Let's see my skin tone a little bit more orange. I like that, this greenish, but I'm gonna bring that down a little bit. And right here on the blue primary is where you kind of get that orange and teal look, if you want, which looks good. Let's boost the grain all the way to 100. I'm just kidding. Let's put it at about 60. Let's change the size to 35. And let's see here. Let's do this at 55. And let's do this. Let's bring these up a little bit. Bring this down here a little bit. Bring this up a little bit, make it more soft. Bring the exposure up. Bring the warmth up. Boom, that looks pretty cool. Let me zoom in, we got a lot of grain on there. We got a lot of grain. All right, bring it back. Let's check it on white. It looks pretty good. You could always just boost up the warmth a lot. Hold on, it's on white. You could bring up the warmth a lot and make it like a really warm photo and play with these greens. And right there, I'm kind of going for like a, let's bring the blacks up. Let's lift those blacks so it's a softer photo. I'm going for like a film look now, as you can see. Bring the shadows down a little bit. Blacks up. Now it's looking real soft. Let's punch the whites. Not too hard though. Wait. Now, you know what? Let's bring the whites back actually and punch the highlights back up. Look at that. That looks dope. Let's see. Change the grain a little bit. It's a little too intense. Let's go 35, 35 and bring the roughness back to 50. Now it looks like a soft, vintage kind of like film look. Black. And that looks dope. That looks fire. So you can manipulate the photos because you're shooting them raw, but fresh out of camera, they look good. If I shot it in the right white balance, it would have looked better, obviously. But you can see the photos look good. I really like this color on this one. The colors on the video were good. It was a fun experience shooting with the Sonys. It's been a fun experience coloring with the Sonys. Again, Lightroom presets are available. If you want me to make some video LUTs off this Sony footage because you're a Sony user and you like the way that I color and you would like to see those video LUTs available just to click one time and drop it on your video, let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this Sony series. If you want me to do more stuff like this with like different stuff, maybe lenses or a different camera brand, maybe some Fujifilm cameras, or maybe with my Canon cameras, do a whole series on my Canon cameras. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. If you did enjoy this, slap the like button for me. Go watch the other videos for me. Do me a solid favor and slap the like button on all those other videos and just drop a comment on those videos. Anything. It could be just some fire emojis. It could be some trash emojis. It's cool. I know how YouTube is, and I know that some people are probably like, yeah, this dude does not know anything about Sony, and that's fine with me. I don't. I'm here, I'm experimenting, I'm having fun. That's what YouTube's about, and that's what I want to make it about going forward. I want to have fun with it, and I want you to have fun with me watching these videos. So that was it. This is the end of the Sony series. I enjoyed it. Maybe I'll shoot with some more Sonys. Maybe I'll test out other stuff. Who knows? I hope that you enjoyed this whole thing. Check out the Lightroom presets. If you want the video LUTs, let me know, and go follow me on Instagram because I would like to have you there to see what I am up to. If you're new here, subscribe to the video. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. All right, that's it. I'm done talking. I'm done promoting stuff. I'm out of here. Celsius. Peace.